The decision-making process in a transactional sale, such as in a grocery store, for example, is almost always much shorter than in outreach sales. This is because customers have different long ways to make a decision. The customer in your local grocery store does not need nearly as much convincing for the salesperson to reach the goal with his communication right at the checkout. Even before the customer enters the store, they usually know exactly what they want, but the customer is also in a completely different way open to receiving influences from potentially new products due to the customer's existing mindset. The customer is ready to spend money and is actively looking for business opportunities and good decisions. There is therefore an extremely big difference between the sales process of transactional sales and the outreach sales that take place through advertisements, digital marketing, or over the phone. Even so, the structure of a successful sale or a failed sale often looks exactly the same in both decision processes. There are two factors that govern whether or not the customer ultimately chooses to make a deal or not. And both factors must be met in order for the customer to finally be able to make a well-informed decision. One factor is information, and the other factor is emotion. In order for a customer to be able to make a good business decision, the customer's logical arguments must be fulfilled, and the customer's emotional arguments as well. Play with the idea that a customer walks into a grocery store and all the products are scattered on the floor or hanging from the ceiling in an unstructured way. Of course, this will have a direct impact on how much information that reaches the customer. Once at the checkout, it gets even worse. The seller is trying to guide the customer to a better decision with even more unclear information. In this case, the seller does it by reading the list of contents on the product that the customer presented on the cash register. After many ifs and buts, the seller has finally unwittingly managed to get the customer to put the product down because the information finally became incomprehensible and thereby created an insecurity regarding the decision. Now instead we play with the idea that a customer is now treated in an uncommitted manner, or perhaps even in an unpleasant manner, by a store representative. This would then instead affect the customer's emotional balance, and the customer ultimately feels compelled to give up their chosen product or be in order to keep their peace. I agree. It takes an extremely high number of errors in the communication for a customer in a store to renounce a decision that has basically already been made. But despite this, it happens all the time in different ways, every day, and in almost all industries.